I personally got into Morris dancing because my father does it. And so when I was a kid, I grew up just watching it. I grew up watching many of the guys here that I do it with now. And I was, I was fascinated by it as a kid. So when I was about 10, I think I said I wanted to start doing it.
I read a book about 8 years ago by Terry Pratchett, and he wrote about the Morris dancing. It was just a beautiful picture that he created about Morris dancing and the feel of really bringing in spring.
The one thing I thought of yesterday while fooling, I had such a good time at that last stand in Doylestown that I was thinking about it afterwards and trying to think what it is about a stand like that is different from some of the other stands we've had, is that I think of fooling as a job. And I think my main purpose, my main function is to be useful to the guys who are dancing. And if that means just picking up hankies or supplying a stick when a stick gets broken, that's part of the job. But when there's a big crowd there, it's also part of my job to help the crowd realize who they are and the power they have, and that they're a really important part of the dynamic. Because, like, when you're in a theater, directors talk about how important the first laugh is, because it's not until that moment that an audience hears itself. So the first laugh, where all of a sudden you're spontaneously, audibly enjoying something with this group of strangers you find yourself with, all of a sudden you become an us.
My younger brother and I were in the Salem Theatre Company's dramatization of A Child's Christmas in Wales, and the director brought in 3 of the guys on Newtown, the team that I dance with, to do a few jigs. And before I had ever seen a Morris dance in my life, I walked right up to one of the guys and I asked how I could get involved.
When you have a set that's just really together and everyone's, there's a good energy and everyone's paying attention to everyone else and just feeling the music and feeling the energy between each other, it just feels great, because you know that the audience is electrified by the performance and you feel electrified with the performance. You're moving around physically, you get tired sometimes, but when you've got a really good set like that, you just don't even notice being tired. You get energy from the energy that everyone else has.
It's a subtle art of trying to get, both your body and moving the hankies to become a part of you, to really express the movement that you're going with.
The music watches the dancer as much as the dancer listens to the music. It's really interactive. And I think when people play and don't watch the dancers, like if they stick to their own interpretation, it doesn't work as well. You know, every time a Sherborne set is up, Sherborne is so particular to the dancer. You can't play splitters the same for Graham as you do, you know, for John or Terry or whoever. You have to play for them, and they have to catch what you're doing. So it's a great interplay, and that's what I love about it, especially Sherborne. Sherborne is the pipe and tabor tradition. It's not like, I don't really think Bampton is great on the pipe and tabor, as great as it can be on a melodeon, for example, because it just doesn't have that, you know, it's hard to get that swell in the music on a pipe and tabor, but it's great for Sherborne.
When you feel sad, okay, so what does that mean? Or when you feel ecstatic, you know, you can say those words, but it doesn't really, you can't describe what goes on in your body that makes you feel that way, that your heart hurts or you suddenly can't breathe because you're so excited about something. And a little bit, it's like that way talking about music, because there's no words and you just play, and it's like its own language. So when you play music for Morris dancing, you have two roles. I mean, you have to provide the sort of steady beat and the music that people can listen to, and then I think you have to also somehow imbue it with some quality that the guys who are dancing, they can hear the way you play something, or they can hear what you're about to do, and that's really important, because when you're getting ready to end the phrase and go on to the next movement or the next figure, you can illustrate that with the way you play the music.
Work hard with a group. You're working to overcome something about yourself, right? You have to give up a little bit of yourself to be part of a greater whole. And again, I think that's challenging for any person in our times to do. I think that culturally it's probably been particularly difficult for men to do. And again, when I see that level of joy, that level of excitement, that level of collaborative creativity, and to have an opportunity to share in that, for me, it's the most real and vibrant for the men, because they have to work the hardest at it to achieve it.
I got started on the American Travelling Morrice myself when I was about 16, I think. they decided that I was old enough to come and camp with all the guys at that point. I was actually, at that particular time, I was one of the few kind of young guys doing it. So it was mostly me hanging out with a bunch of guys who, you know, were old enough to be my dad. It was just really fun. It was just a week of, living a totally different lifestyle from what you live in your normal daily life, and going out and dancing every day, and oftentimes getting that energetic feeling that you get when everyone is together in the set, especially because it's such a concentrated amount of dancing. You know, you dance together for a full week, and so you really start to get on the same rhythm and to work with each other as the week goes on.
When I'm in a dance that's going, you know, really well, like everybody's into it, then, you know, the music is going, the dancing is going, everybody's in step, and we're all feeling it, and we're all really into it and working at it, then it's, I've heard dance described as the soul breathing. It really does feel like the inner person is being expressed in the dance, but however personal it may be, it's also very communal. Dancing with the other people and being absolutely just in step perfectly, getting that energy. We're all moving as one, and we're moving as one, but we're also moving individually, and it's an amazing feeling that you really can only get if you do it. You know, it's indescribable, but you know, for something like that, you don't really need words to describe it. You just kind of feel it.
Off we go! Farewell, Morrismen! Thank you and goodbye!